Hey everybody, John D. Villarreal here, and I'm going to talk about John D. Villarreal Digital Ventures. I'm going to make this super short. There's so much more to talk about, but feel free to follow up with me on LinkedIn or by email, and we can talk about it and we can get into it. But basically, I've been thinking about this for a long time, and I've got a lot of experience in technology, venture, entrepreneurship, all that type of stuff, media, and I really think there's a great opportunity for this right now. I think there's like 3 or 4 mega trends that are really impacting and caused me to really, launch this. And what am I trying to do? I'm going to offer a range of services that are going to be available to companies and even individuals. And it's like a hybrid venture studio. It's consulting, it's digital media and PR, it's sales and marketing, and there's more, right? I think there's a confluence of venture and entrepreneurship and a critical need and impact of digital media. So you had Kevin O'Leary of Shark Tank that recently said with the Robinhood IPO, the first question that he asks when he's gonna potentially invest in a company is, who's doing your social and digital marketing? Because that's so impactful to everything of the company, for sales and marketing, market cap, all that. And I'm an expert in both. And those two worlds, yes, they relate, but they don't really understand each other or talk to each other. So, venture people do the venture thing. I can't tell you how many professionals or venture people that I've talked to that, hey, I don't want to be on camera. People in the professionals and the venture, they may not understand that whole, digital marketing world. They don't want to be YouTube stars or whatever. Whereas people on, I've got a very big YouTube channel. I've been a national TV host, co-host, and I've been a major market talk radio host, most recently in Miami. A lot of that world, if you're successful, you want to be a celebrity, right? And maybe some of those people, they don't have professional degrees, whatever. And that, I'm not judging anybody. I'm just saying that is a very, very different world. And if you get traction in that world, you want to roll with that. I'll give you a real quick example on this, and I gotta just blast through everything. Look at the car business. Car business, automotive, pharmaceuticals, and food and beverage have pretty much some of the biggest advertising marketing spends of any different industries. And this is all public information out there. I'm an expert in the car automotive field. I was one of the top in the nation for Audi for luxury, automotive sales. And I was also a manager at one of the top Audi stores in the country and a manager at a Ferrari store. So I'm an expert in the automotive space, and there's so much happening there with tech, and I've got contacts at manufacturers, and that whole area is getting disrupted. So that's very, very exciting. And there's a confluence between automotive and venture and entrepreneurship right now. But it's not it wouldn't surprise me to see heavy 5-figure, 6-figure, even 7-figure spend. You can see this in articles per month for, dealership groups, automotive groups. I'm not talking about manufacturers. I'm not talking about big public, dealership groups. I'm talking about, local dealership groups, even local dealerships. And when's the last time you've seen a really awesome local car commercial that made you want to go buy a car somewhere, right? I'm not putting anyone on blast, but what happens is that world doesn't understand media and ad buying and all that, and they'll hire an agency, and the agency comes in and okay, what do you want to do? And maybe they'll put the owner on, or they'll put the GM on, and okay, we'll talk about this. And we've seen a lot of those commercials or things, in my opinion, might be kind of corny, and they don't really drive a business result, or they could be a lot better. And so just because something looks good and looks like a music video doesn't mean that it's, driving a business result that could be as good as it could be, right? And that's just a small example. I'm not trying to put the automotive on blast. I think there's some really great people there, and they're very creative, but that's just an example I think that everybody can understand. So let's move on with that. The need is clear. What do most businesses need? What do most startups need? They need strategy, good business model, strong team, sales, marketing, investment, funding, digital marketing, media, PR, communications, maybe HR. I may be able to, that's a piece I'm working on here. Hopefully going to be bring in education and training. Also VCs and companies may need M&A due diligence, VC due diligence, product due diligence. And there's a lot of companies now that are trying to do entrepreneurship teams. Okay, great, but how does it all work? The goal is to be able to work with almost any company and team at any point in the life cycle. Anywhere from, hey, we just have a business plan, we're just getting started, we need to make it better and ramp this thing up, to public companies. Like, hey, we want you to take a look at this. We're thinking about launching this product. We need to do diligence on this. We need to do diligence on that. Whatever. There's all kinds of different ways, entrepreneurship, all that we can engage. And also do this, standard VC studio companies. So smaller private companies, this is a huge opportunity. So yes, people understand about the normal, venture studios and all that, and that's great. We're gonna play heavily in that zone. But there's so many private companies out there that aren't gonna take funding, that aren't gonna hit unicorn status, that aren't gonna go public, but they're great and they can do great things, but they need help in whatever. It may be a chain of restaurants that wants to put more people in the doors. It may be someone that wants to get a celebrity or do great digital marketing or campaigns, or they may want to tune the business model, or how do I hire and retain people, or how do I train the sales staff, or a dealership group, or all kind. There's so many different companies out there, and this is the massive part of the market that is overlooked, and they don't have access to often this level, or they're not in contact with this level of elite services. And we're gonna make it so easy, so we can work with almost any company right now. There's many different ways and time frames to engage that can work for almost anyone. I'm gonna try to do everything from hourly rates to the traditional VC studio cohort to C-level roles and clients. So, we're gonna try to make this accessible for everyone. And if people can't fit into that, then there's Super Genius Academy, and I'll get into that in a second. There's gonna be a mix of compensation options, and terms and conditions are subject to change without notice at any time, right? This is gonna constantly evolve. We're gonna constantly tune this. I think I can work with probably 10 to 30 companies at a time if I have the different resources of professionals that are gonna help me out on this. But the main thing is, I don't care what stage company you are, and I don't care if you're gonna be a unicorn or take VC money. That's great, that's not needed, right? And I also have to say this is also a mega trend and a mega opportunity. I don't care who you voted for. It doesn't matter. It's been reported, and there's opinions out there that tech leans left and maybe now heavy or hard left, right? And you could say the same reportedly of media, of academia, etc. And I think that there's a major opportunity there, and particularly in like Florida and Texas. And I think we're seeing some mega trends going on right now. And the point is, again, I don't want to get political, but my point is that I just want to do great work. I just want to do great with great companies. When I was in the Valley, and it was really, there's a really libertarian kind of vibe there, right? What can you do? How can we change the world? And let's go. That's all that it is. It was really simple. And now it seems that I'm all for great causes, but it seems like people are leading for their cause first and their business second. And I don't really get that. Like, I do all kinds of different things. I'm going to do some more things, but I want to help everyone. Here's the point, without getting too into this, because this is a whole other thing, and I don't want to get too into this. If you've been shut out of tech, if you don't feel like you've gotten a fair shot, if you don't think you can get a fair shot, or you just want to do great work and change the world and really crush it and not have to worry about agendas, then maybe I can help you out. Right? This may be your opportunity. Like I said, we love everyone. We want to help everyone. We want to do great work. We want to do great work with great companies. That's it. It's really that simple. It's not complicated. And I think that's a mega trend and a mega opportunity, particularly in Florida right now. Now, why me? If you have to ask that question, you might not know who I am. And that's okay. That's fine. Check out my LinkedIn. Check that out. If you want to send me an email, I can send you a resume. Or just hang back and just see what we do with the other companies, whatever. It's not a problem. I can show you that. We can do all that. But I don't want to sit here and just blow through a bunch of resume drop. I'll just say at a very high level, I've been a lawyer at one of the top firms in this space. In my opinion, I've been a venture capitalist. I've been an entrepreneur. I've had big YouTube success. I've been a national TV co-host. I've been nationally ranked in luxury sales. I've had successful events, and I'm also sort of a smaller to maybe medium-sized influencer right now. So that's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with that, and it's hard to find, and there's more. I can go on, believe me. And it's hard to find, people with half of that, let alone all of that. I'd challenge you to find someone with all that experience. Now, okay, John, this is confusing. This is just too much to take on. Not really. It's super simple, right? Companies and people today, this is another mega trend, are looking for people and need people with cross competencies. I think we went through the area of entrepreneurship, right? And general skills. Then we went through this period, this era, the last maybe 100 years, 50 to 100 years of real specialization in big companies. And I think we're breaking out now back into, I'm not saying it's going to be like it was before that, but I think that the rapidity of change and the empowerment and globalization and entrepreneurship, I think that pushes people to cross competencies, right? Cross skills, both technical skills, hard skills, soft skills, all those things, they all come into play, and the ability to learn and lifelong learning and being able to handle that change. And I also think people want, as much as they can, simplicity and one-stop shop and major value added. That's what this is about. So I'm ahead of the game. I always want to be ahead of the game, not behind the game. I'm ahead of the game. I'm way ahead of the game, right? And I want you to be a part of that. Now, this is kind of, so what is that? This is an entrepreneurship and business opportunity accelerator or value adding supercharger, right? I want to have plug and play professionals that I can bring in here and try to provide that at an incredible value. That's the goal. Okay, so give me an example of what you can do. Traditional VC studio accelerator, work, help, idea, strategy. I've had a number of really respected people say that I'm the best idea person that they've ever met. And I think that's because I have these cross competencies and I understand how different things come together. Look at Post-it notes, right? Wheat, glue, paper, bam. Once it was done, it's like, $1 billion opportunity. Just being able to see how things can fit together and where the markets are going and having that vision, 3, 4, 5 years ahead, potentially, possibly, right? PowerPoints, business planner tuning, something I'm really great at. I've seen thousands of them, right? Business model improvements. I feel like I'm super, super good at being able to figure out how to make more money and how to tune things up. I think that's something I'm really, really strong at. Communication training, sales campaigns, data analysis, executive search and team hiring. That's if I can put this other piece in place, if that comes in, data analysis, celebrity or myself, spokesperson, endorsement, sponsorship opportunities, or voiceover work. Think about having a great celebrity that can talk about your company, your dealership, show up at your dealership, to sign autographs, show up at your restaurant, move the needle, and at a very reasonable price that may be really hard to attain other ways. And I'm not making any promises, guarantees, or anything like that, particularly that space. That is a very challenging space to navigate, but that's a space where I've got, I've had experience in. Of course, I can, decide for myself what I want to do, and that's no problem. But I have experience and context in that space, and a significant amount of experience and context in that space, in my opinion. And I have a professional that is in that space right now, living it, and they're really, really great. And hopefully, they're going to be involved. And again, everything's subject to change. Not making any factual claims, etc. like that. Marketing campaigns, digital media campaigns, media and PR, drone videos, we can do that too. So all that. Current traction, I've got 4 to 5 pros, I think, myself included. And again, I have to say this, not alleging any facts, not cash, all for entertainment purposes only. Please check all the disclaimers. Everything's subject to change, terms and conditions at any time without notice. Now, 4 to 5 pros directly available, myself included. 3 with VC experience or current VCs. 2 MDs, MPHs from Hopkins. 3 MBAs, myself included. 1 JD, that's me. Master Communication, that's me. Hopefully 1 HR pro and 1 PR pro. And there's more resources or strategic partnerships we think we can tap into. 2 to 3 companies are verbally committed. I'm trying, and so far, in my opinion, and more meetings lined up, more details soon. So hopefully we're gonna accelerate that. But I just want to do good work at first. I don't want to get too, we want to build intelligently. And of course, as I said, all of this can change, all of this can fail, all this is my personal opinion. I'm starting small and bootstrapping. It's a new model. And I've thought about scaling faster, but look, I want to maintain the vision and control. This reminds me of when I did America's Venture Capital. I was told, and I don't want to get into all of that, but you've seen that, you can see those videos up. I was told, trying to bring Silicon Valley to kind of the DC area and that whole thing, and I want to do a big event. And a lot of the events there were like, in that space were kind of like below 100 people, and they were smaller and they didn't charge as much, in my opinion. And I looked at that market and I said, I want to do it big, and this is what I want to do. I wanted to make a big splash straight away. And I had like a 2.5, 3 months window before like the summer really was going to hit and people were going to be gone. And I was told, you can't do it. You need a year, all the no's in the world. You need food, you need years, you need a bigger budget, you need all this stuff, right? And I'm like, no. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go on. And I remember I looked at my wife and I was like, listen, are you prepared to lose this much money? And it was like, 5 figures, right? It was significant 5 figures. I think, you're prepared to lose like a lot of money. It's like, well, if you believe in it, then yeah. I said, I know I can do it. So let's do it. And we did it. And it was a huge success. We had, hundreds of people there. We had, dozens and dozens of speakers. I think we were up to like 60 to 70 that were scheduled. I mean, I'm sure not everyone showed up, whatever, but it was huge and it was fantastic. And I had people that were, former NFL Super Bowl champions, former NBA players. I had big time executives from government. We had big time academics there. We had 2 presidential fellows there. We had, VCs there. We had startups. We had pitch companies, and we had mashed this all together. People like, this doesn't make any sense. But afterwards, you know what everyone said? When are you gonna do the next one? Can you help me? Exactly. I think that's the thing. I know I have to kind of once we prove this out and we get it rolling, if we can get some traction, then I think that's gonna say it all. Okay, so that's it. That's the bottom line. If you want to learn more, talk to me. I'm gonna put my LinkedIn contact below. It's best to message me there. I check that all the time. I'll also put my email there. It's something I've never done before, but I'm gonna do it now. And you know, let's talk. Let's see what we can do. And then stay tuned, because I'm also going to talk about Super Genius Academy. That's another great way to connect and learn, and maybe that's a great way to start, right? I have to, and that's gonna take a little bit longer to ramp up, but I'm gonna try to get that online pretty quickly. And then I'll also, for my YouTube viewers out there, I'm gonna have a video coming pretty soon. I have all this work to do where I'm gonna talk about what I'm doing on the channel and some different great things that are coming up with that and some plans on that. So I'm John D. Villarreal. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. I look forward to talking to you soon. Let's go.